Well, it's a very good evening to you. Welcome to the West Ham Voice, a Friday late night. Not so late. It's only just gone 9 o'clock, so quite an early late night tonight. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all looking forward to the game on Saturday. We're going to talk about that, me and my guest, Ronnie Bruno, in a minute. And we're going to talk about a few other things that are coming up. Now, you know, there's speculation going around, and I haven't got confirmation about it yet. But we're going to talk about Lady Brady and the apparent rumours that are knocking around there. And we're going to touch on the Footballing Regulator because we're wondering, or I'm wondering, whether there's a link to Brady and Tara Warren. Tara Warren, as you know, has worked for West Ham United for a number of years and now has joined the Footballing Regulator. Link? Wow, I'm making a link to it if no one else does. But let's bring in our guest because the ever vibrant Mr. Bruno. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad at all. How are you?
Yeah. I'm well. Yeah. You just telling me just before we came on air about your escapades in Burton last week. I didn't realise there was a bit of commotion.
Yeah, the Monarch security was held. But there was people that couldn't get in on the behind the goal, and they just wouldn't let us round. They wouldn't let us round to join it, and they just left us, not getting in. Everybody was pushed up. It's an old ground, so you expect it. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to the real stuff, right?
Let's get on to the real stuff.
I've heard the rumour. Is she going or is she gone? Or are we close to getting rid of her?
Well, you asked me earlier tonight, and I did the inquiries, and the source that gives me a few snippets of information. We both know him, Sean. Said, well, I've heard a similar rumor, and he said, I've heard she'll be going in 2 weeks. However, he did qualify that by saying none of this is confirmed. None of this has been substantiated. So I think there's a rumor knocking around, and I think it's like more hope than it is reality, to be honest with you, mate.
You know what? It's a lot of hope because I think if that's even being thought about than reality, then it means that, that something's working. The protest might be working a little bit. You with me?
It could be, but let me ask you, because I've been asked this question. If she left West Ham United, what difference would it make in terms of how the club is run? In your view?
Well, it will be half of the bullshit gone, wouldn't it? Half of the BS will be gone. So,
she can't spin it, can she?
Yeah, she can't do the spinning, and and I could imagine her going, because if we are going to have some financial rules coming in, logically, is she going to want to be associated with anything like that? At the end of the day, she's on TV. Oh, look, I'm the apprentice. I'm the great person, and you're not. You're with me. So that will bring more focus on, or more spotlight on her, if you understand what I mean. So,
well, this is why I've linked it to the Footballing Regulator, because let's talk about Tara Warren for a minute. For those who know or may be aware, Tara Warren had been with West Ham United for something like 17 odd years. And I did it again, didn't I? I asked you to. I should say Footballing Regulator, not fun. You see, I work for a fundraising charity, so I had that in my head. Tara, so it's not fundraising regulator.
Independent football regulator, IFR.
The football regulator.
Yeah, IFR.
So anyway, Tara Warren won't be working for a charity. She will be a footballing regulator. And she spent 17 odd years at West Ham. She's risen throughout in the club, to a number of senior positions. And she left earlier this year, rather suddenly. And what's happened is now, apparently, the story goes, is that her exit, on her own terms. I was asked, I saw a message on, I think it was Twitter earlier today, saying, was she pushed or did she leave? But my understanding is she left on her own volition because she was looking for something new in football. And now, within weeks of leaving West Ham United, she's been appointed as a non-exec director of the newly formed Independent Football Regulator. Now, there were 250 candidates that were considered for this post, and she's really highly thought of. So the reason why I'm linking it is because she's come from West Ham. It could be any club.
Still, now you've told me that. I'm even more worried. Yeah, because mate, she'll be giving them the way of getting out of this, going back probably. So looking at what you're saying, it's a little bit worrying because if you're working 17 years with somebody, unless you didn't like them ever, you ain't going to go to another organisation and then start grassing them up, are you? Really?
Well, of course you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. But at the same time, if you're a professional, you're not going to be giving them ways out, ways to get out of things, are you? Really?
You give them a heads up on, oh, you better be careful with that, or. So it could be that person has already given one person a heads up and say, do you really want to be associated with what we might find? Because are they going to these financial regulators? Are they going to go back? Are they going to check on the back, or are they checking?
Not as far as I'm aware, because let's not forget PSR is also going next season and the end of this season. So I don't think they'll be looking back. I think maybe a lot of clubs might be sighing a sigh of relief there. I think they're looking forward. I think what they're going to say is, this is how you need to get your house in order. So, the whole idea of the footballing regulator is financial sustainability of a club, their licensing, oversight of ownership, fan engagement, and heritage protection. Now, if you look at what Hammers United have been, sort of pushing in terms of the protests, etc., it's an awful lot of that. They want more transparency. That's what we've been asking for. We want more oversight from the owners. Stricter tests on who runs football clubs. So the way it's been going over the years, like anyone with a bit of cash in his pocket can go and buy a football club. Doesn't matter where that money's come from or what sort of background that individual's got or that company has got. So there's going to be a lot more stricter rules on ownership of a club.
All the things that you mentioned there, all the things that Hammers United and the board have asked for, and they've asked for that. Probably they've looked at the financials and they've asked for this. So would you say, number one, the club can never, in my mind, show that they've got long-term financial planning because I haven't seen it.
Well, this is exactly it. Because part of the scrutiny of financial sustainability are, clubs have to ensure that they're running the football club responsibly and that they are financially resilient. That they've got a proper structure in place in order to demonstrate that what they're earning is what they're spending is what they're earning, not spending beyond their means. So it's everything that we've been asking West Ham United to demonstrate. Now, the thing is, it's not necessarily going to improve our transfer policy, for example. It may not necessarily improve that, but it might make the club start thinking a little bit sharper rather than just going and spending 50 mil. Let's bring it up to date. 20 million on a player that 6 months ago was only worth 250 grand, as an example. I think there'll be a lot more accountability required.
Yeah, where's that money? Did you go down the laundry, you mean?
Did what, sorry?
Did you go down the laundry? Is that what you mean?
Well, that money, we all know we're talking about Pablo here. That money is, it was rather strange that all of a sudden he was worth, 10 times what he was worth, well, not 10 times, even more than that. For someone who was only bought by a club for 250k and then sold for 20 mil, there's a lot of questions being asked there. I'm not expecting the keep calling it fundraiser. I'm not expecting the footballing regulators to be looking at every single transfer, but questions might be asked when there's such a big discrepancy. I could be wrong. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting. So accountability financially is going to be a big thing moving forward. So will clubs do this kind of business in the future? I don't know. Buying a player at inflated prices.
Well, now you've spoken about, I wasn't aware of this Terrell lady, but now you've spoken of it, I'm quite worried. In fact, I got quite excited when I heard that rumour that Brady was going. But what you said now maybe says to me that she might be staying, because she's going to be trying to get the framework to try and get around this independent regulators. She's going to try and make sure that she can, because every time she talks actually like they've actually done that they've done great for the club.
Yeah,
cash flow is great. They've got good planning. They've looked after the cut. Oh, we're giving you half price seats, and all that. Heritage, you can't say much about, because basically she's killed the heritage. They've killed the heritage, which most of us accepted because we was lied to. Basically, we was given a 10-point plan, and it was a 10 points of nothing. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I was quite excited when I heard the rumor, and I was quite excited when you just told me that that it's a chance. But we know that the person who's giving you the information sometimes just put that BS out himself. So and looking at what you just said now that they've got their mates in the place, it worries me because it sort of negates everything that I really hope.
Ironically, I mean, I was playing devil's advocate earlier, thinking, maybe the reason why Brady might be leaving West Ham is because the footballing regulator is in place and maybe finding out all the shit that's been going on in the background. And I thought maybe Brady don't want anything to do with that, because this is all coming in next season.
That's a good point. But if you say to me it's not historical, then that changes.
That changes the landscape. Yeah. And maybe what you've just said, if there's anybody that can find their way round a regulator, is Karren Brady.
Yep.
You'd want her on your side if there are any skeletons in the cupboard. As much as we don't know, I've always said this about Karren Brady. She doesn't know much about football, but she's a good businesswoman. And I know a lot of people might disagree with that, but in general, she's managed the whole move from the old stadium to the new stadium. That was her, because financially she saw a massive advantage to West Ham United. Whether we like it or not is another matter. Whether being lied to or not is another matter. The actual business of moving from Upton Park to the London Stadium, by anyone's books, given that the contract that we've got, watertight, can't get out of it, the mayor can't get us out of it, no one can get us out of it, you got to take your hat off and go, we don't like it, but fair play.
We don't like it. But the plus, one of the things that's coming in is ownership and director's test. So assessment of source of funds, integrity and criminal background. Now, Aaron, don't put nothing like that in the chat again, please, because you might get a knock on the door from someone. But there might be some integrity and criminal background coming that way. Possibly. Financial capacity to sustain the club. Now, if you're earning the amount of money that West Ham's earning, Premiership and what have you, how can you be in debt all the time? That's not financial capacity to sustain the club.
This is absolutely. This is where accountability is going to have to become, is going to have to be in a lot sharper now. You're absolutely right. I mean, Matthew's just made this comment: 3 years in Europe, a cup win, 100 mil for Declan Rice, etc. Major cash injection, blah 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 blah. And the books are saying we're 100 million in the shit. That's the sort of thing where, and I know everyone says, well, the accounts will be published, and I know the accounts for at the moment are late, but they've got until the 28th of this month to publish the accounts. But apparently those accounts are going to be showing we're £100 million in debt, and that's where the scrutiny of the footballing regulator will come in. It'll be like, show us, you tell us how you've managed your business in a proper and sustainable way, so that you've ended up being 100 million in debt. And this is where then goes back to the whole thing about transfers. Well, hang on, you bought that bloke for 20 mil. How's he worth 20 million if he was worth only 250 crates? So that's the thing I'm expecting. Not about the player per se, but about the business transactions that go on.
This is all too late because at the end of the day, the important thing is this board probably are going to start from next year. They're probably going to start from next year. So that's a problem, because then they'll be looking from next year. So if you have got somebody in there, you can at least make your books for the year following to fit within that, even though you're 100 million in. Oh well, I started 100 million pound in debt. You with me? So
yeah, this is our starting point. Yeah.
And the other thing is, you know, this came too late because one of the fans' protections in this board was to protect key heritage assets, the club name, the badge, the colours.
Yeah.
Already tried to change the colours before, I'm sure. Yeah, that didn't go too well, did it? Yeah, but they're slipped in gold. You know, they're slipped in gold. I don't remember us having gold when I was a kid, but with that claret blue and gold now, aren't we? Yeah. The badge, they changed the badge. Yeah. Apparently there was consultation going on about it. No, there wasn't. There wasn't a consultation. Do you want to keep the old badge and do we make a new badge? Because this is the new badge. Which one do you want? That's not consultation. Yeah. And you know.
Well, interestingly, what you've just been saying, part of the footballing regulator's remit is about heritage protection.
Yep.
Is all about safeguarding the club identity, such as the name, the colours, the home ground, etc., etc. You know, so if this had come in 10 years ago, just before we moved, there might have been a lot of say about, well, hang on a minute, I'm not so sure you can move from your current ground.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened.
But it's interesting. It's interesting. So you picked up on it as well. So I think I can see why Brady was not an advocate of the new footballing regulator. She argued against it. She didn't want it. She said that football regulates itself. Well, clearly not, given what we've been through.
Got a mate in London.
But it's quite interesting that we think we're isolated, mate. I'm going to tell you a little story that's just come to me again. I made a donation today to prostate cancer, and I got speaking to the guy who took my donation over the phone. Oh, by the way, the members, that was a donation on behalf of you members, so thank you for that. And I got speaking to the guy, and he went, okay, so I said, it's a collection. It's a collection. It's not just me. It's a collection. He went, okay, who do you want the donation made, thanked to? And I said, West Ham Voice members and blah, blah, blah. And he went, oh, football, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I'm a Celtic fan. We started talking. And you know what? The same thing that's happening to us is happening to Celtic. Bad ownership. It looks like owners don't care. You know, the way they do their transfer business. All the things he started talking about. We had a good 5-minute chat. Was like, yeah, that's happening to us. And he's, we want to protest. We protested before. When they had bad owners, they got bad owners out in the past, etc. And I thought, okay, this is the sort of thing where Hammers United and other fan bases who are unhappy with their owners, the footballing regulator is almost going to be on our side. You know, it's going to give us that strength as such to say we want this club, our football clubs, to be run in a proper and precise manner, tighter financial regulations, greater scrutiny of the ownership, our heritage and all that sort of stuff. And it's quite interesting that we're not an isolated thing here. I didn't realize that Celtic were going through a similar, I mean, they've had more success than we had, been in Europe regularly.
I don't think our protest isn't about success. If our protest was about success, we wouldn't even be supporting West Ham, let's be honest, yeah?
We would not.
It's the mismanagement that we've allowed to happen. And because, but I think it all boils down to now is that when you get promised something and and nothing is delivered on, yeah, that is a problem, yeah. If you're with somebody and they say, "Oh, I'm gonna be like this, sweetheart, yeah, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this," and then as soon as you put the ring on them, yeah, they completely turn and do exactly the opposite of what you thought they were, yeah, or they were gonna do, yeah. You're not a happy bunny, are you? So I mean. Yeah. West Ham or the owners of West Ham have basically done that, haven't they? They haven't really delivered on anything, and in fact, they've gone worse. You with me? And look at the situation we're in now. It's pathetic.
It is, and it's. I think this financial regulator thing can't come soon enough. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air. I think clubs or owners, not club, but owners of football clubs like Sullivan and other football owners, unscrupulous football owners around, it's going to be squeaky bum time for them. It's going to be.
Well, as you say that, but as Peter Chelmsford has said in the chat, yeah, Man City, their charges are going to be looked at in 2065, which is basically that's what it might be like. It might be like that. They might, yeah, you're crap. You should be running the club. You've broken that, broken this. All. Oh, let's string it out for 20 years. You with me?
Well, maybe if the footballing regulator has got any teeth, if it's got a bit of bite, they won't allow them to. I mean, I don't know what their remit will be on something like that, breaking PSR rules and all that, but. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what this football regulator is going to do. But it's also quite interesting that Tara Warren has left West Ham United and is now part of the footballing regulator.
Well, let's hope she's got a bee in her bonnet. That they treated her really bad for 17 years. What I'm going to do you? I'm going to tell them everything. Yeah? Whistle blow, whistle blow. I'm not on an NDA now, mate. I work for the I'm going to say IRA. IRF.
IRF. Now, apparently, in terms of the Premier League, they've been publicly warned by the oncoming footballing regulator that they must not put at risk the league's global success and competitiveness. So that means there's going to be some tension between football clubs' commercial freedom and meeting footballing regulation, these new footballing regulation standards. So I think this is going to be a story that's going to run for quite some time. It's going to be a story that's going to be interesting and see how it unravels, see how it goes.
Do you think they'll investigate? There's a few rumours going around. I'm not going to mention them on here because they're rumours, yeah, about something else, yeah, going back in the 70s, yeah.
Well, this is interesting you said that, because part of it, as I said a moment ago, is the greater scrutiny of ownership, people who own football clubs. I think that's the path you're going down, isn't it?
Yes. Forest, Upton Lane, Black Door. Yeah, that's kind of stuff I'm thinking about.
Yeah. So I don't know whether this is the thing. I don't know, Ronnie, to be honest with you, whether they're going to look at history or whether they're going to go, it's from today moving forward.
I know, but you say that though. I just want to say Epstein was history, but then it's still in the present because people came forward and then it became.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. But I mean, I know we've gone kind of around a long circle, in a big circle in terms of Brady, but I don't believe she's leaving. I think it's just speculation. But let's see what happens.
Brady out.
Say again. Brady out.
Brady out.
There's a lot of speculation, but I reckon, if she doesn't want to be touched by what has happened in the footballing world, or certainly in West Ham United, given that the footballing regulator is coming in, what better time to leave than now? That she does, so she doesn't have to be under scrutiny.
It would make sense that if you're supposed to be this great business person and they come in and say, God, your business has been crap, mate. You with me? That's not going to go down well. So I would hope that they come in and say, God, your business has been crap. You need to tighten up and follow these rules. You with me? That would be great. But like we know, as you say, she can get around regulators. Might have her own person in there already. We don't know.
Tara Warren.
I don't know. The best thing for us is they're not mates, because you know what? Some women are mates with women, and then as soon as they, what a bitch, you with me, and all that, even they hate each other really, but they're like working together. They're all down the pub together drinking, and then when they get home, that bitch at work. We've all heard it, I'm sure. Yeah, you was out drinking with her last week. What are you talking about?
Let's not just tarnish it on women. Us men are as bad.
Oh yeah. So I wasn't being sexist then.
I know you weren't. I know, but I just wanted to be sure.
I'm just thinking about her indoors. Yeah,
So okay, we're done with that. The long and the short of it is we don't really know whether Brady's really leaving or not. I think over the coming weeks, maybe by the end of this season, we're going to be a lot clearer. But we've heard it before. I think someone mentioned early in the chat that we've heard before that Brady was leaving and it never materialized. And she's onto a good thing. When you earn £1 million bonus for part-time work, mate, I'd take that any day of the week, wouldn't you?
You'd want to get sacked, wouldn't you? So you could claim the compensation.
Just claim the
You
compensation.
hear me? I'm not leaving that club until they sack me, mate. Sack me. Sack me. I'll take you. Unfair dismissal. Yeah.
Let's get on to proper footballing stuff.
Before we go any further, remember tomorrow, guys, there's no protest tomorrow. Tomorrow is about Ludo. No protest, no cards, no balloons, no 15 minutes, just Ludo. Yeah?
Yeah. Well said, mate. Well said. Because we've got a TIFO coming up in the Bobby Moore Lower. Where do you sit? I never asked you.
I was sexist. I wasn't sexist, Julia.
Juha?
I wasn't sexist. I didn't mean to be sexist.
Oh, sorry, Juha. Didn't mean to upset you.
I could have said all those. That's being sexist.
Where do you sit in the stand, in the stadium?
I'm in the Trevor Booking Lower, always.
Oh,
North
you're
Bank.
over the other side. You're near the away end. Okay.
Next to the away supporters.
So we got the TIFO coming up in our side tomorrow in the Bobby Moore Lower, and I think that's a fitting tribute to a fantastic goalkeeper. And I think it's also quite fitting to talk about our goalkeeping situation, because we've had a few debates over the past few weeks, and I don't know. I want to get your theory on it. Now, Ludo, there was never ever a dispute as to who would be our number one keeper. It was either Ludo or whoever else was there at the time. We always knew our number one keeper. We've got a situation now where one of my mates, Paul Williams, he says we've got two number twos rather than two number ones. How do you see it? How do you see this with Hermansen and Areola? And do you have a preference? I'm going to tell you what I think in a minute. But what's your theory on our goalkeeping situation?
Well, I like. A lot of people don't like him, but I prefer Areola. Yeah, because he's longer. You with me? He's got a bigger span. He's kept us in games. I mean, I don't know. I was at one match and I was behind the goal, right? And the team had a shot, right? And Hermansen weren't even covering the post. He done a dive and he weren't even. If that ball had been in that corner, that he wouldn't have made it. It just he didn't have the span. You
didn't have the reach.
Yeah, he didn't have the reach. So to me, and they say he came out and caught the ball. Mind you, saying that, he has been coming out and catching the ball, but he's had different defenders in front of him, who made it more commanding. But at the same time, I did notice that I don't know if Areola might have a crisis here, because he came and flapped at one, and I thought you didn't need to flap at that. Yeah, he flapped at one in one. I think it was a Burton. Was it Burton?
It was the Burton game.
Yeah, it might be Burton game. He flapped at one. I thought, well, he's not confident. So if you look at that, you think, hold on, you with me? He's not confident at all. Whereas Hermansen, he gave away so many goals for not being confident at all from corners. And if I was another team playing us, I would concentrate on getting that ball, on top of him every time. Because
I've got a similar theory to you. I think one could argue that he was thrown in at the deep end right at the start by Potter. He weren't ready, didn't have a lot of a pre-season and all that sort of stuff. Thrown in as our number one, thrown to the wolves, really. And one could understand that, but I think you're right about his reach. I've seen several goals. If you plant the ball low and to the corner, he ain't getting it. And it's interesting. I don't know. I still maintain this. The goal against Man United, people say it was a wonder strike, for them to get the equaliser. Areola would have that would have been a save by Areola.
Areola would have saved it. It's easy to look back in hindsight, but I'm about 100% sure that Areola would have saved that, or he would have been close to saving it.
He would have been close to saving it. Yeah.
I think he would have been reaching that and probably pushing it round. But it's a difficult one, because you got goalies are funny, and you say when I saw that flap at Burton, I thought, what's Areola doing? Is he giving the defenders in front of him a lack of confidence?
Well, if you notice,
less confident with him, there.
If my theory is probably much the same as yours. Let's not forget who was in front of him at Burton on Saturday. Max Kilman.
All right, well there you go.
And for most of the beginning of the season, it's been Kilman, Todibo. You don't sit Kilman, Todibo, and Dinos. And now Disasi's come in, and the person that's reaping the benefit of Disasi coming in, and is Dinos. He seems to have improved his game, and whatever keeper's going to be behind Disasi, because no matter what people have said about Disasi, he's a bloody decent defender. He's a very good defender. And now, what I would have liked to have seen is Areola in goal behind Todibo on form, Dinos in form, Disasi has come in form. The person that's reaping the benefit of that is Hermansen. I reckon Areola would have benefited as much, if not more,
as much, if not better,
by having.
Well, we'll see. When we're moaning a couple of matches that we could have won that if he hadn't, we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, it looks like Hermansen is being put.
He's number one. Yeah, I mean, Nuno'S made it very clear that Hermansen is now number one.
I don't know if maybe Areola was chatting up Nuno'S daughter or something. I don't know. Anything like that could have happened. You know what they're like, very fickle, aren't they? Or maybe he called him Baldy. Baldy too. I agree, James, you're Baldy. It could have happened. You don't know, do you? But it's very strange, isn't it?
It is. I actually think Areola is hard done by. But then I get what people are saying. He flaps at the ball. He always goes out punching. He doesn't try to catch the ball, etc. But if you've got confident defenders in front of you, then you're more likely to catch the ball when you've got confident. But if you've had Kilman in,
Troy's saying it's a communication, which we mentioned, that he doesn't he might not communicate with the defenders. He might be a bit quiet.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, I've heard that too.
If you look at Mervyn Day for one season done a lot of communication. He was the greatest goalkeeper in the world. He made a couple of mistakes. He couldn't talk to none of his defenders no more, and he became the worst goalkeeper in the world. You with me?
Yeah, I agree.
It could be that. Could be something like that. It could be communicate. You have to communicate. Mind you, saying that, if it's communication, you've got 3 French geezers in front of you, and you're French, and you've got a Danish geezer don't know a word of French. How's he communicating?
Well, I'm hoping they're all speaking English. Otherwise, we really are in trouble. But let's move on from the goalie and let's talk about another baldy that's come in, and that's Paco Jemez. Now, I think it was the second or third game that he was at the club. And I said, maybe we should start giving credit to the new assistant manager. And I said, maybe that's a bit silly because it's too soon. But we've had players coming out. Ollie Skulls, I think Dinos as well, Souček, have all spoken about Paco Jemez and have talked about the influence that he's had since his arrival. He came in mid-January, and since mid-January, all we've been doing is we've been playing with flair. We've been winning games. We look really confident. Apparently, everything on the training ground has intensified. He's perked up the players in training. Paco Jemez, what do you make of him?
Well, he's definitely had an impact, hasn't he? I mean, have we lost one since he's been out? We haven't lost a lot.
One. And that was against Chelsea when we shouldn't have lost.
Definitely been playing a lot better, been a lot more adventurous. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's maybe a mixture of the two of them now. Because remember, if you've got 2 geezers they know each other, me and you, we could go out and we could have a big argument about something, but we're going to agree on a few things, aren't we?
Yeah.
But we are going to argue, possibly. And
we'll have a difference of opinion on stuff, absolutely, yeah.
One of the things it was said that when Nuno wanted him in, he wanted somebody that wouldn't just say yes.
Yeah.
So I read that somewhere. I don't know where I read it, but I read that he didn't want someone who would just come in and say yes. So that's telling you, I think Paco said it. I think Paco actually said it, that he said he wanted someone to come in. So straight away, it's telling you that because the staff he'd been given were and they're great staff, don't get me wrong, but because they've been given that position, they were probably yes, because you don't upset somebody who's just promoted you from nowhere. You ain't going to say, look, you're talking crap, mate. You with me? But Paco, if you're with me, you say, "Oh, you're talking crap, Bruno." You're with me, and I say, "Oh, come on, still," and then we'll have a conversation about it. So, I think that's what's happening. I think there's some kind of chemistry. But saying that, I think if Nuno went, I think Paco would still have the ability to still get a choice at, something out of everybody. Yeah.
Well, I've got a theory that if we do get relegated and if Nuno doesn't stick around, I think Paco will be given the job.
100%.
To bring it back up.
I think he will be a manager.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening, and it will give me more confidence. Not that I wouldn't have confidence if Nuno stayed and we went down, because he did exceptionally well with Wolves. He brought them up with record points and all that sort of stuff. But if we do go down, and if Nuno doesn't stick around, I can see Paco being asked to bring us back up again.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that because he'll be familiar. In fact, it might have been a fault when they actually brought him in, or when he came in. It might have been a fault. But he did say in his interview that he was asked by Nuno, but Nuno picked it.
Yeah, so, I think Nuno's been given the authority to do what he thinks is right in terms of transfers, coaches, and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's good that he's actually got that. I think it's good he's got that. And he's managed to bring someone in that, let's be honest, mate, I never heard of him before. I don't know if you did or not, but
not really. I looked him up when he came and I thought, oh, interesting. But we still haven't got one thing that everybody else has got, and that's a set piece coach.
Yeah, but did you not see that free kick? What was it? Was it against Man U when when it looked like it was going to go into the box, and then they tuck it down the side, and Bowen almost scored. It took a good save from the keeper. So someone's taught them to do that.
They were watching TV and they saw somebody else done that, and they done it in training. So let's try that.
I'm giving Paco that as well.
Look at this team play. Let's just try it.
I'm giving Paco the credit for that as well. I don't care.
All right. You love Paco, don't you? You look a bit like him with hair, though. That's why.
I look like him with hair. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Now, it's also interesting when I read up about him that apparently top coaches like Pep Guardiola and Luis Enrique are admirers of this guy. They talked about, they raved about 2013 season when he managed Rayo Vallecano. And they were the first team to have edged Barcelona for over 300 games in terms of possession stakes. Paco's all about keep the ball. Now, ironically, by trade, he was a defender. So he's come in, and when I read about him, I thought, oh, no wonder Nuno's bringing him in. He's bringing in a defensive coach, but no one realised it's like had the shackles taken off him. Like when the minute he stopped playing football, stopped being a defender, he went, fuck the defending. I'm going all out attacking. And he became this mad attacking coach. So I think it's a bold move what Nuno's done. Knowing that someone's going to come in and turn around to you and go, no, I don't agree with that. You saw the game against Sunderland. I don't know if you saw it on the touchline. That Nuno wanted, it was 3-1. Nuno wanted to bring on Kilman, and Paco was going absolutely bananas, having a go at him, going, "No, you don't want to do that."
I noticed Paco's always shouting. He's always shouting at Nuno. If you look, even when we score, he's in his ear. And I thought, wow, we just scored. Nuno's like, he runs out here and starts shouting in his ear. He does it all the time.
But isn't that a breath of fresh air?
I think Nuno's probably thinking, God, I wanted someone that didn't say yes, but I didn't want to be shouting in my ear all the time. I'll just do what he says.
He's scared of him as well.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's ironic. I did a show earlier this week about the manager bounce for Nottingham Forest and Spurs having two new managers in, and they're hoping for manager bounce. And I know Nottingham Forest last night thrashed whoever it was, Fenerbahce, 3-0 away from home. But I've said, yeah, okay, so these two teams are expecting manager bounce, which I'm not so sure both will get it. one or the other, mate. But I'm not sure.
I thought to myself, Tottenham ain't going to get no manager bounce whatsoever.
I hope not.
I looked up the geezer. I looked up the shape that he played.
Igor Tudor. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a 3-4-2-1, which I think they were kind of playing already. He wants front pressing from the front. He wants wing backs going down, which kind of Tottenham do already. But it doesn't make him any better, does it? Because he's there. And the other thing I thought was quite good, is that he doesn't know the Premiership. And I was thinking, yeah, Tottenham are going down. But, they've gone and got Bruno Salta today. So as he's
did they?
Yeah, they went and got Bruno Salta. So he does know the Premiership. He was he managed a match for Chelsea. So he's got that person in his ear now. You with me? Who does know the Premiership? But the Premiership is much more intense than the other leagues and the Italian league and definitely the Spanish league. So if you're coming in, you're going to be doing intense pushing up the front, free at the back. Teams are going to find the space around the back of you because they're used to playing against that. Look at most of the people. Every time Nuno does free at the back, we all go, we all get scared, don't we? Because, and Potter played free at the back. What's his name played free at the back? Amarin played free at the back. So a lot of teams that do play free at the back, they do get exploited because the Premiership is not very forgiving for free at the back teams. Yeah. And he does play 3-4-2-1. He has 2 attacking midfielders and one. He might not even have the players at Tottenham to actually do that. So
this is exactly what I questioned. This is exactly what when I did the show earlier in the week, I said just that. I said it's all very well bringing in these managers who are going to play a particular style, but have they got the players to actually deliver that? So you're spot on there, mate. You're spot on. I think, but given that both those teams are hoping for new manager bounce. We've had our new manager bounce, and we're riding on the crest of that because our assistant manager Paco has come in, and he's changed the way he's freshened it up. We're already a month ahead of both those teams, and you can see us closing the gap.
Remember, when you're a new manager, the first thing you've got to do is get to know your players, try and find a structure, get to know the league if you don't know it already, and then it might take you a few games to actually get your ideas across. Yeah, unless you're a super manager. Yeah, so, if we're looking at it that way, I mean, I've been looking at Tottenham's fixtures, I've been looking at Nottingham Forest fixtures, and I've been looking at Brighton, funny enough. I've got fixtures, but I think Brighton are going to be all right. But I'm looking at Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, and we might be at the end of, if things go right for us, at the end of April, we might just be 1 point behind Tottenham and 2 points ahead of Forest. According to my spreadsheet, anyway.
Oh, yeah, you're putting them together, aren't you? You're doing like a predictor.
Not so much a predictor. I've got a spreadsheet. So if we look at their, and some of them are going down, if we look at their, what they've been doing through the season, we've got their average points per game. If we look at the average points per game at the moment, Forest will have 33. We'll only have 29.5. And Leeds United will have 37. And that's your average, what they're going on average. You with me? But if you look at what you really think is going to happen in the next few matches, because remember, they might have had their run. So their average might be higher than what it would be. But when I looked at matches like, for instance, out of Arsenal, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Forest and Sunderland, how many points realistically do you think Tottenham would pick up if they don't get no bounce at all?
Not that many.
I've got 4.
Oh,
one against Fulham. They must be able to get a draw against Fulham. Probably they might beat Crystal Palace. We don't know. Forest and Sunderland, I put down as draws. So I've said maybe 4 points. They'll be on 33 points if they get 4 points at the end of April. And if you look at Leeds, have got a better run because they've got a couple of teams that Leeds are doing well. So even if they get all draws, I've got them on 35. Forest have got Liverpool, Brighton, Man City, Fulham, Tottenham, and Villa.
Tough.
And I've got them to pick up 3. But the problem with Nottingham Forest is the manager that they've got does know the Premiership.
The Premier League. Yeah.
He does know it. So that's a problem because he might be able to get something out of them. I don't say he'll get super manager's bounce, yeah, but they've got decent. I think Forest have got a team. I don't think they've got forwards, but they have got a forward, haven't they? Just bought one.
Yeah, they've got a decent side that with a really good manager could make them play. Really attractive football. Yeah.
So I think Forest may have. I've got them picking. I've got them picking a point against Brighton, a point against Fulham, and a point against Tottenham, and losing to Liverpool, Man City, and Villa.
Okay, so what about us then?
That will put them on 30 points at the end of at the beginning of April. But they could easily. But if they, we've got Bournemouth. Well, I've said hopefully we'll win. I've got us to draw against Fulham, and I've got us to draw against Villa, and I've got us losing to Liverpool and losing to Man City and beating Wolves, and that will put us on.
We'll probably lose against Wolves and beat.
Don't say that. I've seen us lose twice already this season. I don't even want to consider it. You can't lose to a team like that 3 times in the league in one season. Yeah. So I'm probably looking at 32 points, which will put us 2 points ahead of Forest in the beginning of April.
Talking of, that's an interesting prediction. I mean, I think
well, not prediction. It's calculation.
Calculation, but it's interesting that. What do you base it? What do you use to do the algorithm for the calculation? What is it? You run it on form or?
Now, if you run it on form, general form, Nottingham Forest are on 33. We're on 29.5 at the end of April if they continue that same current form that they have. Yeah, points per game. Yeah, but I'm looking at, and then I do a separate one where I say, okay, Liverpool at home. Do you expect Forest to win that?
No.
Right. Brighton away. What do you expect that to be?
Brighton a win.
I've got it as a draw. Man City away. What do you expect that to be?
Man City to win.
Right. Fulham at home. What do you expect that to be?
That's a tough one. That could be a draw.
I've got that down as a draw. Tottenham away. Okay. What have you got?
You would expect Tottenham away to be a defeat, but then
I've got it as a draw. And then so you've actually got less points than me, right? And it comes to 30 because I've got 3 points they gain.
Right.
Yeah, and it's 30 by the end of April. Well, beginning of April. They're only on 27, remember? 3 points is 30.
And if they start sliding like that, if they're not getting a win, even though they're on 30, they'll start to panic.
The pressure on them will be, but the worrying thing is that manager's been in that position already. Yeah. So these are guesses at scores. In the Premiership, you don't know what the scores are actually going to be. You know, they could go and beat Liverpool, beat Brighton, draw with City, beat Fulham, beat Tottenham, and draw with Villa. And we won't be even talking about them after that because they'll be like on almost 39 points.
Yeah.
And
then they'll be out of it. They'll be out of it.
Well,
so
go on.
So let's start with us then, because tomorrow we got Bournemouth, unbeaten in their last 6 games. I'm gonna put a chart up here because it's a chart of the last 5. Let's see if I can find it. The last 5 games, and look at where we are. When you talk about teams in form, etc., and you've just talked about Spurs and Nottingham Forest, and I'm going to show you where Spurs are in a minute in the last 5 games. But look at Bournemouth, and everyone's going, oh, they're going to be a tough team. It's going to be of course it's going to be tough. You know, every team that you play in the Premier League is a tough game. But we're just behind them in the last 5 games. We're the 4th most consistent team in the last 5 games.
And we played the top 2 in the last 5 games as well.
And we played the tough 2. Yeah, exactly that. We lost. We should never have lost against Chelsea.
No.
And we should never have drawn against Man United.
No.
We should have got at least 4 points, not just the 1 that we got in those 2 games. But people are going, oh, well, we've got Bournemouth next. They're tricky, blah, blah, blah. They're in top form. But so are we. I look at that chart, and that defeat against Chelsea really hurts. Really hurts, because if we'd have won that, we would have been joint top in terms of current form.
But when I look at that, I look at the teams that are there, and I say we've played them teams. These are the teams that we've played in the last, apart from Bournemouth. So we played Chelsea, we played Man United. Who says we can't get a result against Bournemouth?
Exactly that. So of course I'm worried. I don't want, I'm not going in thinking that we're going to be gung-ho, but I'm going into this game thinking exactly what you've just said. We played those two top teams in top form. We're playing the third team in top form at home. Why can't we do something positive against them?
And we've got the fifth team. We've got the fifth team coming up soon as well.
We've got the 15 coming. Well, let's forget that. Let's not worry about it. But now I'm going to show you where Nottingham Forest and where Tottenham Hotspur are. Before I show you, where do you think Forest and Spurs are?
They're bottom two.
Okay, well, you're not far off. You're not far off. Forest are better than we all thought. Now, this is why I'm surprised that they got rid of Sean Dyche, because they're kind of like, at the moment, all right, not great, but they're kind of holding their own. Getting a few draws. Draws might be enough for them for the rest of the season to see them up. But look at where Spurs are. Second from bottom. Second from bottom. Now, that's not including the game, and I know everyone's going to say, what about Wolves, blah, blah, blah. It didn't include the game against Arsenal the other day, so, accept that. But look at where Spurs are at this moment in time in terms of league form. I didn't get why Sean Dyche got sacked, because to me, Sean Dyche, if he'd have just kept Nottingham Forest drawing the rest of their games, they would have been all right. But Spurs, second from bottom in terms of current league form. If Igor Tudor doesn't do it for them, if Igor Tudor doesn't get them going straight away, they're in shit.
He's not going to get them going straight away. I'll be very surprised. You can't come in. The only thing is Arsenal on a downturn, but you can't expect him to come in. Anything they get against Arsenal is going to be a bonus. But let's be honest, if he's going to be a pressing from the front, I think Arsenal quite like that. They like teams pressing them from the front because then they do
create space.
Yeah, they get they knock it long ball up to Martinelli and he runs down the wing and he's through. Rice will Rice is used to it because he used to play for us. You with me? So he'll be breaking everything up. So I don't think, and if they've got wing backs coming down, I think Arsenal are preferred teams to be coming at them and attacking them up the front. So if he's going to be playing how he's supposed to be playing, he'd probably play that game completely different. But if he's playing how he's trying to implement from what I've read about him, then he might come unstuck against Arsenal.
Yeah, I think so. And if they get defeated quite heavily on Sunday, and then we win tomorrow, we're within 2 points.
Yeah, and then they've got Fulham, and we've got the easy one of Liverpool away.
Yeah, mate, we owe them one. We owe them one.
There was a season we didn't lose to them. We beat them in the cup, and we beat them home and away. What season was that? Lanzini scored 2. Was Lanzini?
I can't remember. It might have been.
2.
Yeah.
Remember Lanzini scored 2? Yeah.
Yeah.
In one of the matches.
So, I'm confident. I mean, we look at Bournemouth in terms of what they've been doing. Yeah, they're a good team. They won their last 2 games, scoring at least 2 goals in each game. Their last 2 away games, scoring goals. They have scored in 11 consecutive matches, so we know we're not going to get a clean sheet tomorrow.
No.
They've got Ryan now, their new signing, who's already made an immediate impact. And their style is all about, you mentioned it, high press, but high press, and they play 3 at the back, which means that
there's going to be spaces.
It creates spaces.
There's going to be spaces. It could be a big scoring game.
It could be. I mean, it was. I mean, mate, you were at the away game. Yeah. You were at the away game. We should have won that handsomely.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we gave that one away. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be a clean sheet, and I think they are. And the thing is with them, they're vulnerable.
If we got 3-2-0 in the first half, Do you think Nuno will learn his lesson this time and not make the mistakes he made to allow them to be able to press us even more?
We've got a more balanced squad now.
Mm.
If he takes off, like when he took Wilson off far too early. We all know that, 5 minutes into the second half. But if he decided to do something similar, then he's got Wilson to come on this time, because we didn't have a backup for Wilson when he took him off.
Yeah,
he tried to defend the lead.
Secondly, we've got to bear in mind as well, one of the good things, which is making me kind of happy, is that if we don't play Todibo, or I know you're going to be looking at it later, or Disasi, if we don't play one of them, we've got them to come on to shore things up, and I'm very pleased about that because we've been having Kilman come on, and when Kilman comes on, he creates a panic within the defence as well.
He creates a panic. Yeah, he creates a panic. Yeah, we will talk about our lineup in a moment, but in terms of Bournemouth, they're a good team, but they concede early goals. They've done that a few times this season, and that's something. If we start off on the front foot and we manage to to bang a goal in within the first 10, 15 minutes, then it is all to play for. And I think I saw Hammerette say, I'd be happy with a draw tomorrow. We're at home. I won't be happy with. We can't afford any more draws. We need a win. We need a win. We need a win tomorrow. Look, they got good players. Tavernier's back in training. He's got 6 goals for them this season. I know Semenyo's gone, but Evan Nilsson, he's got 5. Junior Krupi, 8 goals. They got goals in them, which is why I can't see us, keeping a clean sheet. But and then, of course, this takes us on to what is our team going to look like on Saturday? What's your feeling? We got Todibo back, which is great. But then, do you drop Todibo for?
You say we got Todibo back, but when I was watching the training video, I don't remember seeing him in the training video. Or was I?
He was. I saw. He was training.
He was in there, yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't see him in there, yeah. And I started getting worried that he wasn't back. But at the end of the day, people say, "Who'd you drop?" I mean, do we change the team? Do we play 3 at the back? I mean, when we played 3 at the back, we've been so open in the midfield. Are we going to play 3-4-3 against? Because I think they come through the middle, don't they, Bournemouth?
Yeah, they come right through the middle.
Right through the middle. So we should be packing up the middle. So are we going to?
Well, Bournemouth have a tendency to play like a 3-5-2. Sort of like, so they already pack out the midfield. We might try and match them like for like. That's a possibility, but I just don't think we look good when we try and play a 3 at the back because we invariably don't play 3 at the back. We end up our get pressed so far back. It becomes a 5 at the back.
We don't look good when we play 3 at the back because we've been playing Kilman as part of that 3.
Okay.
Right, so let's put it in perspective, and that's been jittery. But if you look at Mav and you look at Todibo, they're quite rapid, fast. Yeah. When you look at Disasi, and he's quite, he's a good header of the ball, quite calm, and what have you. So maybe that 3 at the back might work better than the 3 at the back that we've had to suffer. Under Potter.
Herein lies the problem that you've just said. We're winning. We want to shore it up. We're already playing 3 at the back. What do we do then? Because that means there's only Kilman on the bench. And the last thing
you wouldn't bring him on, would you? You'd definitely have to bring in a midfielder to shore it up because
that's what you would. Yeah. And you just mentioned Potts is going to be a big miss tomorrow. Now, there was speculation about how many games he misses. He misses 3 games.
Yes.
I know some people have said that apparently he only misses 1, but the foul he did at Burton wasn't a professional. If it was a professional foul, it'd be 1 game, but it was violent conduct. It was deemed as violent conduct because he scissored him.
Reckless, wasn't it?
The reckless challenge, yeah. So he misses 3 games. So Potts would have been the sort of player that you'd put in the middle in order to shore things up. So do you then bring this young man back? What do you make of him? What do you make of him? Because he's had a bit of an up and down season, isn't he?
I think he's a really good player.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
we're on the same ballpark
decent.
there.
I think he's decent. I just don't think he's maybe been fitting into the kind of. I mean, I, he's a breaker up of, attacks, isn't he? Yeah, so he breaks up the attack, and then he tries to distribute the ball. Potts does the same thing. So they've been a mismatch when they're both in there because they're both similar type of defensive type of players. But we have seen that he does have a tendency he can run with the ball, as he proved against Burton and one of the other matches against Man United a couple of times.
Well, if Wilson had squared it off to him against Man U at the death, instead of trying to go for goal, Magassa would have got his second goal of the season. Second goal against Man U. It would have been an open goal.
Yeah, well, Wilson's going to be greedy, and he's a greedy geezer.
He's on a bonus, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I like Magassa. I think he's good. I think I was surprised that he actually was taken out of the lineup. I couldn't understand it. But then that's because Nuno went for the three at the back, and this is the big argument, isn't it? So what do we do tomorrow? Because for me, with Potts missing, this is what I would do. I'd have Magassa back in. I'd stick with four at the back. I think I would just say to Todibo, you're going to have to bide your time. Dinos or Disasi are going to have to start making mistakes in order for you to come back in. I think that's fair in a way because Dinos has stepped up. Disasi has proven that he's fit enough, he's good enough. And don't be tempted to go with the three at the back. It is very tempting to go Todibo. He's been our best defender so far this season. Smack him in there, get him in straight away. But I would resist. And if I was Nuno, I'd say to the guy, Todibo, you're going to get your chance, mate. We are going to need you later in this game against Bournemouth when we're winning. Like you just said, Ronnie, when we're winning and we want to shore it up, when you bring Todibo on alongside Disasi and Dinos, all of a sudden you're looking even more solid rather than going, I've only got Kilman as an option.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Nuno saying that to him and then him giving Nuno them mad eyes? Wow. Man, them eyes were mad, mate, when he got sent off. Weren't they? You're like...
They were.
Mad eyes. I got scared. I was just watching the match from the side. You with me? Mad eyes.
If you reason with him and say, this is your way to earn your place back in the team, I'm going to bring you on when we're winning, 75th minute, 80th minute, close it up. If you all of a sudden see three central defenders on, which is Todibo, Dinos, and Disasi, you look at that and you go, that's not a bad that's not a bad defense. That's not a bad defense, is it? Those three at the back, they're all in form.
They're a decent defense.
Look at the midfield.
They're a decent defense, whether you start them or whether you end up with them. Ending up with them would be a good idea, but I'm just a bit worried with that 4-4-2 because or 4-4-1. Go back to that first. Because they play three at the back, so you've got basically Bowen and Somerville will have to push up. Fernandes will drop back anyway to pick up the ball. Yeah, and remember they've got five across that back, so that means Doof and Wan-Bissaka will have to go in to match that five.
So would you do it as a 4-3-3? So push Bowen and Somerville further up and have a solid midfield.
What I've noticed a lot is when we had Pablo in, I noticed that when we was sometimes playing, you'd see Wan-Bissaka drop into that higher up where Souček is, and then Souček would push up a little bit, yeah, and Fernandes would push up. Or Fernandes would carry the ball, actually. So I think Wan-Bissaka...
You're almost left with three at the back, you mean?
Yeah.
With Wan-Bissaka is sort of moving a little bit more central.
Yeah, because Souček sometimes drops into that middle, doesn't he? Like as a
Souček sometimes drops far back enough to almost be like a centre back. Yeah,
like centre back. Yeah. So it's quite strange because I've not really looked at Brighton. But if you say they play 3-5-2, that means that midfield is going to be quite congested, and we
Yeah.
can't play the long ball because we haven't got Paco up front. Not Paco, Pablo, because Pablo's not playing. We can't play the long ball. So I'm just wondering how we're going to get through that midfield, especially if they're pressing us quite high.
Yeah. So really, you think it's going to be more combative in the middle, and we got to challenge that.
If they've got 5 people pushing up on you, then basically you've got 5 people pushing you back. There's a little bit of space because if you can chip it over them 5, and somebody can pick up like Fernandes can pick up there, but Fernandes might be trying to win the ball against the 5.
So in a way, you've got really sort of 3 ball winners in a way. There is what you're saying. Souček drops deep to pick the ball up. Fernandes does the same. Magassa's a naturally defensive-minded.
Oh, you've got a couple of ball winners there. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, let's be honest. Jared Bowen's a ball winner. Bowen can win a ball. Souček can win a ball. Fernandes wins a ball. Magassa wins a ball. And Somerville nicks a ball. Yeah. Nicks quite a few when, there's been a bit of lapse. Tatty as well. So they're all ball winners there, that whole 5. But are they going to be... Where are they going to be winning the ball? If the other team's pressing up high, where do you think they're going to be winning that ball?
Well, hopefully, if we've go with a 4 at the back, we're going to be winning the ball quite high up. Whereas if the minute we revert to a 5 at the back or a 3 at the back, we're going to be looking to be winning the ball more on our 18-yard box, which is where all the pressure is. That's the difference. That's the problem. And it's much harder to win the ball back when you're already being pushed in your own half.
You're saying press high to avoid the high press.
Press high to avoid the high press. Exactly
I don't think that we're fast enough to do that. I think Bournemouth are really fast. As somebody mentioned, they are fast. They've got loads of fast players. So if we get that, we are putting ourselves at risk to get attacked. But
so So there's another option. There's something a bit different. Is staying with a 4 at the back, but bringing on more. I don't know what you think of Traore, but putting on rather than Magassa, then putting someone more creative in the middle, someone like Bowen is in the number 10, and putting Traore on the right.
I like Bowen as when he's played at number 10 and when we had other players on there. I don't know so much with that there. Traore. Got a funny use. Listen, Traore is supposed to be fast, fit, and whatever. I was watching him in a training video, and I can't remember who was running in the training video and was running faster than him. I thought he was supposed to be fast. I thought the other player that was running faster than him was quite slow. So I don't know if he's as fast as what we think he is. Big, but he's tricky. But is he as fast as what we think he is? I don't think he's nowhere near as fast.
I think he's lost pace. I think. I think he's lost a bit of pace. So this is a tough one, isn't it? Whoever we start with, the tough question is, if we go with a 3 at the back or like a 5 or a 3, then we could be conceding space in the middle of the park. If we go with a 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, then it still remains combative in the middle of the park. What's your preference? What would you rather? First, what would you rather do? And then secondly, who would you like to see start?
All right. Judging by the Burton game, we actually kept a clean sheet. God knows how. Yeah. They just couldn't score, could they? Yeah. But based on that, and that was 3 at the back, I'd probably go with the 4.
I agree.
So,
and then if it's going to be, because I've seen a couple of people suggest give Mavro a break, give Todibo the start and bring Mavro on 60 minutes.
I would keep,
someone else said something like the same.
I'll keep Disasi and Mav. You can't give Mav a break. What's that mean? You with me?
Darren said much the same thing. Nuno's going to play Todibo and Disasi because Mav played the FA Cup game. But if the FA Cup game was played on Wednesday, I might go, maybe. But it was played a week ago.
Todibo's going to be on the. I think Todibo's going to be on the bench. He's going to play the back 4 that he's been playing in the matches where we've been playing quite well. We have lost a big loss in Pablo. for the way that for that back four works. But at some point, he is going to revert to the back three, and Todibo will come in between. I can't see him starting with it. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised.
I can see him trying to finish the game with three at the back, but I agree with you, not start it. I think the right thing to do and will be to actually start Todibo on the bench, and say to him, you will be coming on, you will be used, you're going to get your game time. Don't worry about that. You'll work your way back into this side.
That's the sharpness. The team are playing in a certain way. We've got everybody, all the the combinations are working. You've got a combination already. You can come in later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray's paying you out. Nice one, Ray.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Really appreciate it, mate. Honestly.
He's just coming from work as well.
Sorry?
He's just coming from work, Ray.
Has he? Yeah. And he's saying, I think he said hello to you earlier. I must have missed it. I agree with you. I think it's going to be Todibo on the bench. But doesn't that give us a lot more confidence if you've got, because people do. Kilman's time at West Ham is up. It's done. It's done. And it means that now we've got three reliable centre backs. You're not going to, given that you've got three reliable centre backs, you're not going to want to start all three unless you feel an absolute necessity to do so. There's a possibility, and I hope he doesn't do it, but there's a possibility he'll start with three at the back against Liverpool next weekend.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he will, and I will. That would be a shame. That'd be a shame. Because what it means is we'll just concede space. We'll give them all the space in the world to run at us.
Yes, but it also Liverpool push quite high. If you notice their defense, and they're not really that fast. If you've got two players on the wings, I think with teams playing us now, they're not as gung-ho against us because they know we've got that pace. They know they've got Somerville. They've got to keep an eye on Somerville. They've got to keep an eye on Bowen. That's two sets of people they've never had to keep an eye on. When Pablo was in and Paco was playing together, that got the centre halves having to keep an eye on somebody, which made the midfield have a little bit of a rest. In that they was able to, probably put their foot on the ball. Fernandes was able to run into space because there wasn't a defender stepping up, maybe, because there wasn't a free defender. So basically, when Pablo comes in, we'll be doing well. So three at the back might be something that we might do just to shore up.
And try and hit him on the break.
Yeah, try and hit him on the break, I think.
Try and hit him on the break.
Remember, that is Nuno'S. That's Nuno'S game.
Yeah, it is.
And Paco might be able to help him because they must have been working with no Pablo. So then they haven't got Pablo. They can't play. And someone mentioned about Anderson being able to distribute the ball. Trust me.
The ball better and all that.
I don't think he distributed the ball much better than anybody.
I don't think he has either. I don't think he has either.
I've been watching. I got every match and I thought, where's his distribution? He might be calming things down. What I notice he does, he puts his foot on the ball and he pulls it back about 3 or 4 times, and he waits until the attacker is closer to him than Areola. Areola will get rid of it faster. Yeah. Maybe he's taking that. But apart from distributing the ball, trust me, he's put many balls into nowhere.
We've seen it. We've both seen it.
Yeah,
this is an interesting comment, and I think I'd like to address it. Brian has asked, why can Traore replace Pablo? Do the same thing, run a lot, cause problems, open up opportunities for others. He can't do that sort of thing.
He can't do what Pablo done. Pablo will, and that's why Pablo's injured. He'll jump and he'll go for the ball against defenders. He'll take the hit. He might not win the ball, but when he goes with the defender, he'll unsettle the defender so much. A defender, which Callum Wilson can't even do. Defender will be so unsettled, he won't head the ball to where he wants to head it. Then we can maybe pick up the second ball. Also, he linked up play quite good. If you notice, he links up play as well. When he does get in front of the defender, he'll just do a simple thing and just pass it on. He'll run down the wing as well. The skills that he's got, Traore has got none of them skills. All Traore can do is probably
get the ball and run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even
It's funny that we're thinking along the same lines because I'm not a Traore fan at all.
I wasn't against him. I wasn't against him in any way. But I just don't see the point of him. You with me? In our team, I don't see the point of him in our team unless he's going to get better and start doing. I hope he does. Please God, that I'm completely wrong, and he just comes in and starts doing things that you think, oh, fantastic. But at the end of the day, I just don't see nothing from him. I think he put one cross in against Burton. That's it. So,
and that was it. So what we're relying on, whatever formation we play over the next few games, is for one individual to stay fit, and that is Jimmy.
If we lose Jimmy, we're in trouble. At the moment, he's a former player in the league, isn't he?
Did you see this coming? In all honesty, did you see him, given how the unfortunateness of injuries, given how he came in, like, I remember when we signed him at the beginning of last season and everyone was like, fucking, we got the best championship player of the season. He was crowned championship player of the season at Leeds. And we're like, what a coup. And then he had such an awful season last season.
It was
and with the injury.
He didn't play much, did he?
Yeah. But did you see, even this season, the beginning of this season, when we were like, thank goodness he's fit, we can start the season and all that. Did you see this coming? Did you see any of this coming?
I think we're getting what they may have got at Leeds, but on a higher level. Because remember, the Championship is probably, I'm not going to say harder, but probably, is he going to get the same amount of space, be able to run into more space in the Championship? I don't know. He's probably going to get roughed up a little bit more. But I thought we would get something from him, but I didn't expect it to be this spectacular. He's spectacular.
He has been, hasn't he?
Spectacular.
Oh God!
And I think the managers. I think it's a different manager as well. The managers, because if you notice, he now gets the ball and basically he just runs at the people.
He just runs.
Panic. Yeah, it's just panic because he just runs at them, and he's got the ball so close to his feet. His legs are going like that, really fast. Yeah, and the balls.
And I remember the beginning of the season. He would get the ball, he'd run, and then he'd look for a pass. He'd look to pass, and it's like, mate, you've done the hard work.
Yeah,
have some glory, take a shot. And for some reason, he was constantly looking for a pass.
Paco
now he don't care.
Paco and what's his name have told him, just look how fast your legs are moving. Look at the ball; it's sticking to you. Just get in there, and because his legs are moving so fast, and he can adjust himself so fast, he can get a shot off. Yeah, not a lot of players can do that. Traore, right, has got to stop and then shoot. You with me? Because his whole body's got to come to a halt. You with me? Jimmy can run, and as he's running, he can let a shot go.
Yeah, which he's demonstrated. I mean, it's been. I'm really pleased for him, and I'm really pleased for West Ham because we now got a fantastic footballer on our hands, and it seems to, whatever's happened, whether it's Paco making the changes or whatever, all of a sudden the team has come alive because they know they can give it to Somerville.
We've got two fantastic footballers. We've got Somerville and we've got Fernandez.
And we've got Fernandez. Yeah.
Fantastic. And we got Bowen.
And Bowen, and this is it.
And Bowen ain't even started yet. There's the thing about it. Bowen, all of a sudden, Bowen, it's going to happen. He's going to kick on.
He is, isn't he?
He's going to kick on, and Bowen is going to start doing well, scoring.
Because Bowen is also wants to make that England squad.
If he can, yeah.
So he's going to start going for it, isn't he? He's going to start going for it. But when we've got those three, I mean, and Tati, we've got to give Tati credit as well. Castellanos, we've now got. There was a time, Ronnie, when we were looking at our front line, going, "Fuck me, where are the goals going to come from? Where are the goals going to come from? Who the hell's going to score our goals for us?" Now we're looking and we're going, Bowen, he's got that fire up his arse again. Somerville and Tati. I know he's only got one goal in the league, one goal in the cup, but he's going to get a few more chances and he'll knock in a few. That goal he scored, who was it against? Was it Man U? The header.
Yeah,
That was such a classic strikers, sort of dying.
We need young Doof to be putting in more of them crosses, mate.
Yeah. Hang on, I've got a message from our mutual mate. Let's see what he says. Let's see if he's going to give me. What we started off with, Brady. Could be true that she might be leaving.
He might be BSing us. You know what he's like, yeah.
I know, but he just added. It was announced on stage at the E13 event tonight. There's an E13 event going on tonight.
No, I'll put that room out.
Huh?
I think I must have told him that. I think that's come to me. It's got to them.
Look at that. That's the way the news goes around. The rumors go around. Okay.
I told him she told her friend, and they told their friends. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, apparently, Sean's contacts are not replying to his messages. So watch this space. Watch this space. This is an interesting point that I like to pick up. What we're going to do, people, is we're going to finish off with Q&As. So if you've got a question that you want to ask us, put a Q ahead of what you want to type, and we'll finish off with Q&As. But this is an interesting point by Daniela. I think Somerville has benefited from Paqueta going. Paqueta. Do we miss him?
I think the whole team has benefited from Paqueta going, just for the simple fact that we moved the ball forward faster without him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Paqueta, as great as he was, he slowed the game down. So when he got the ball and he done his little turn, done that, looked around, right? By that time, everybody has set themselves. Whereas if you look at the goal, which is the goal we scored? Can't remember what one of the early goals we scored. Bowen got the ball, run into midfield in the number 10 position, flicked it round. Pablo picked it up, knocked it to, I think, Magassa. Magassa knocked it to Somerville. Somerville cut inside, scored the goal. That's how fluid that was. Whereas if that was Paqueta would have got the ball, tried to do a barge against somebody, try to do a flick, try and get the ball back, look around, do some posture, look at me, and then do the pass. By that time, the other team are going, while he's messing around, I'll get myself in position, mate.
Get myself in position. Yeah.
You with me? So because we're playing that faster transition, it's benefiting the team more than just having, just that guy there who's, picking the ball up as good as he is, not for our team, not for the way we play. Sorry, he needs to be in some possession-based team such as Manchester City, where they're knocking the ball, they're all doing posturing, and they look for a little space and they run it through to Holland. We ain't got a team like that. We got a team. We get the ball, get it up the other end as fast as we can. Remember, right? This is Nuno's thing. Remember, he beat Brighton. Was it 7-0? And they had like 29% possession.
Yeah.
How can you beat a team 7-0 with 29% possession? You with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's about getting the ball up fast.
I've always said it doesn't matter how much possession you have, it's what you do with it.
What you do with it.
It's what you do with it. It's what you do.
I think the best. Do you miss? Peter
Don't worry, I'm queuing them up. I'm putting them onto the one side, and we're going to go through them in a minute.
Oh, very good, Peter. Wait till I see you.
No, but I agree with you. He slowed the game down, and I remember doing a show at the beginning of the season saying, do we really need someone like Paqueta in the team? When you're fighting a relegation fight, unfortunately, that's when you start looking at the players that can deliver quickly. And he flattered to deceive, didn't he? A lot of people say, "Oh well, you put shit players around him, you're going to end up getting a shit player." I don't believe that, because you look at Fernandes as an example, and completely different. You know,
I think if you're world class, you're world class.
Yeah. Don't matter who you're playing with.
Don't matter who you're playing with. Yeah. In fact, you just stand out so much above them. If you look at the important thing about Paqueta, did he stand up so much above everybody else?
No,
he didn't. So it's like world-class players will stand out in a team as being world-class. Fernandes is he's showing out in this team. Somerville is showing out in this team. Yeah, we've got players who are showing out in the same team that Paqueta didn't show out in. So it tells you that maybe it was the wrong team. And even he's gone now. What's he doing in Flamengo? Or whoever he's gone to?
Well, he's managed to score a goal finally.
Was it a penalty?
No, ironically, no, it wasn't.
Well, he did score for us this season against Chelsea, didn't he?
He did. But, look, I don't want to knock a player, but I just kept looking at him, and the number of times throughout the seasons where he picked up the ball, just like you said, he picked the ball up deep in our own half, try to pussyfoot around with it, lose it, and then we'd end up conceding a goal. When you've got other players like Kilman, etc., who give goals away, they get absolutely slaughtered. And yet, for some reason, because Paqueta was Brazilian, it felt like, oh well, it's just one of those things. But same outcome, same result. If you lose the ball, you lose it in a dangerous area, and you give goal away, then you're going to suffer. I think he did make us suffer, whatever the reasons were for it. For all the But this is the other thing that we've had with Paqueta, is we never had a season where there wasn't some kind of controversy surrounding him. It darkened. We've had maverick players. You and I have seen, the likes of Di Canio, etc. But at least he produced. At least he delivered.
Just a
lot, and he delivered on a consistent basis, except when the times he couldn't be bothered to play away. But other than that,
some of the away matches.
Yeah, other than that,
he gave us a laugh, didn't he? He's still done something to give us a laugh. You with me?
But okay. So we're on to tomorrow. Before I go on, we're going to. I've highlighted the questions, so thank you. We'll go through them in a minute. What do you make of this young lad, Josh Ajala? Now, don't get excited, people. He's not just signing you deal in that photo. That's when he signed his professional deal 2 years ago. A lot of speculation. I heard earlier this week that he's been offered a new contract, and he verbally agreed. We've got a lot of decent youngsters. When you think about it,
not these youngsters, but the only thing, a lot of them look a bit small.
They look a bit slight, yeah.
Yeah, slight. Yeah. So when you look at the Premiership, got some beast players in there, haven't you? So, maybe if we do go down, that's a big if, because I'm not saying that we are. We need to be signing, keeping. We got rid of players that we maybe should have kept if we do go down, and then put some experienced players in with them and give them a season of getting some matches, getting them ready for the Premiership, playing against bigger men. But some of them do look slight, but they have been playing against bigger men. These guys.
Yeah, well, all credit to them. These guys are in the final of the National League Cup.
Yeah,
they're going to play. Going to play Bournemouth middle of March. Huh?
You going?
I fancy it. Yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to go. I'm going to have to drive there. It's a long way home from where I live now, but I'm going to drive there. I'm going
back to Enfield somewhere, isn't it? Back at the Elstree, where the
it's near Elstree. Yeah, Bournemouth, Elstree. Yeah. And I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I don't know what date it is yet. So I know it's the middle of the 17th, 18th, or something like that.
March, yeah.
But yeah, it's a week before I go on holiday, so why not? Why not? I've already booked the holiday for the other half, so she'd be like, "I'm going for what, midweek? Yeah, under 21s. Under 21s. We're going away next week. Don't forget. Oh, that's all right. Then go and have a good time."
Andrew Jordan, they are slight, but but they had big players around them. So even though they are slight, Andrew, there was players that were less slight. You can't have a big team of slight players. They're going to get bullied by teams. You with me?
That's the concern. I know there's a lot of talk about George Earthy and why he hasn't made it, but he was quite slight. And I like Earthy. I thought Earthy would be a player that would make it. I'm not so sure he will now. Someone mentioned earlier in the show, in the comments, that Bristol City, you can't even get in the Bristol City side at the moment. And that's Championship. And but
that's very strange, because last year he was killing it there, wasn't he? Last time he was there, wasn't he?
He was killing it. Yeah, he was killing it. Yeah. But then you look at, so he's quite slight, and then you look at Callum Marshall, who's now out on loan in Germany. He was quite slight as well.
He has some shoulders on him, though, isn't he? He's like, and he's Northern Irish.
Yeah, he's
So
a hard slight person.
Northern Irish slight is still nuts, yeah.
That is true. That is true.
I've got a Northern Irish mate, yeah. He's skinny as hell. He'll fight anybody. It's terrible. Can't take him nowhere. D, if you're listening, behave, mate. Can't take him nowhere.
Going back to,
I've got to tell you a story. We was in Italy. We're walking across a park, right? We went to see Inter Milan against AC Milan. We're walking across this park. This is before the match. We're walking across this park. I've looked around. Where the hell is he? He's fighting some geezer because he went to stroke the dog, and the geezer said, "Don't stroke his dog." He went, and he's fighting him. I'm thinking,
he's fighting a bloke because he wouldn't let him stroke his dog.
Yeah. Can't take him nowhere. Yeah.
Oh,
terrible.
Dear, oh
terrible.
dear.
Love him, but he's terrible.
So let's go back to this, lad.
Based on Northern Irish people, I think Marshall could be quite tough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ajala. He was Chelsea youth. Only came to us 2 years ago. Spent all his youth career at Chelsea. Didn't see a pathway to the senior team there. Decided to come to West Ham because he thought there'll be potentially an easier path. We now hear that he's talking to clubs in France and Germany. His contract expires at the end of this season. From what you've seen of him, have you watched much of the under-21s? From what you've seen of him, what do you think?
I'm impressed by the majority of the under-21s, to be honest with you. At under-21 level, a lot of them look very good. How many of them will make it? I've got no idea. But, I think they could all make it. You with me? I think it's very funny with youth because I think we need to send a lot of our youth out to Germany and Austria and them places because they play them. Yeah, but they
play them in the senior teams. Yeah,
they play in the senior team. But the Premiership is so cutthroat. We ain't going to get a manager who's going to be playing youth and giving them the chances. We're just not going to have no teams have managers that do that now. I think the last team that played was Fergie. Yeah, he played a lot of his youth. Yeah,
97, 98, 99.
Oh, they were great. Yeah, but you can't. It's not going to happen in this day and age in the Premiership. It's changed a lot. Look at how hard the Premiership is. You just won't get use. Yeah, coming in and getting in teams. Mind you saying that, Bournemouth forgot their 19-year-old that they bought from abroad. Yeah, they had the 18-year-old defender last year that was brilliant. I can't remember his name, went to Real Madrid. So some teams do play youngsters and put their faith, but you won't get a big group of youngsters playing in the team.
They've got to be exceptional, haven't they? A bit like Declan was. They've got to be exceptional. Yeah.
Well, Declan, what age was Declan when he got in the team? 20s, wasn't he?
I think 17, but I could be wrong.
17?
I think he was 17 or 18 because it was Pellegrini who brought him in.
It was Pellegrini.
And Pellegrini was what? 7 years ago, 8 years ago? I think he might have been 17 when he came in. 17. But yeah, he was young. He was young. Someone's going to correct me. Someone will correct me. But I got in my... Because what is he now? 24, 25 years old?
He had quite a few seasons with us, so...
Yeah,
it probably was Pellegrini.
Yeah, no, it was definitely Pellegrini who gave him his breakthrough. Because I remember Pellegrini gave him his breakthrough.
Yeah, because we had two of them, didn't we? We had him and we had the other one that didn't do too well. He was behind him. What was his name? Forgot his name. Played against Arsenal. Reece Oxford.
Oh, Reece Oxford was a few years before Declan.
I think he was.
Reece Oxford was a few years before Declan. Yeah. Reece Oxford was under Bilic.
Yeah,
he's under Bilic. And he went on. I mean, it's interesting. Orford will make it, but Trudge, Orford is without a team at the moment. I thought Orford was a superb footballer, but it just didn't go for him, did it? It just didn't go for him. But I don't know. I'd like to see a couple. I mean, when you think about, how we talk about our youngsters saying they don't get a chance, we got Ollie Scarles, we've got Freddie Potts, we've got Kante. who's only been with us, one season. We've got Ezra Myers, who I think is a fantastic young defender.
He's quite stocky, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's good though. He's very assured. So we've got, so all of a sudden we've got a crop of youngsters, and we keep talking about the Earthies and all these other, the Marshalls, etc. And yet it's the ones that have come through under the radar. Kante, Ezra Myers, who could be the ones that are making it. And I like to think Ajala will be one to make it as well. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We might have to sign him and send him out. I think send him out to get some men's football next season.
Yeah. But if you're going to go to the final, let me know. I'm going to go. There you go.
Probably about 70.
Let's go to the questions. So let's start with the first one. Malkstar, will Somerville be here next season? Well, you could ask that of any player, depending on what league we're in. If we're in the Premier League, I reckon he'll stay. What's your thoughts?
If we're in Premier League, we ain't going to lose a lot of players. We need to win the FA Cup this year. It would help, wouldn't it?
But that would be nice. That would be nice.
But I don't think there's no. The World Cup will be gone, so players will be less likely to go and want to, have to leave to play Europe.
Yeah.
Because and if he ends up signing for Suriname for the World Cup anyway, it won't matter that he's in Europe, will it? So I can't see him.
Exactly. GP, I don't know where your head's at, mate. Who's more sexy, still or gone? So we'll skip past that one.
I think GP's got a crush on you still. He's been saying
I'm a bit concerned. I'm a bit concerned. Peter, Ronnie, do you miss doing those Halifax adverts?
Well, it was an earner. It was an earner, wasn't it? Yeah. Funny enough, when it was on, I used to work for Halifax. Not Halifax. I used to work for Lloyd's, who owned Halifax.
There you go. Close enough. Andrew, Hammer of the Year. Oh, good question. Hammer of the Year so far. Hugh Fernandez, Somerville, Bowen, Souček, Todibo, Dinos. If you'd have asked that about 3 months ago, you would have said no one. No one. Have you got a Hammer of the Year so far?
Too hard.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too
We'll come
hard.
back to you on that one, Andrew. Brian, Stell, do you think we will get the same positive atmosphere tomorrow in the stadium as we had? I do, and
if we go 1-0 up, mate, it'll be banging.
1-0 up, yeah, but it's also an early evening game as well, so that will be boisterous, won't we? We'll have had a few before we go.
Not down the pub at 9 now. We're down the pub at 11.
Mate, down the pub at 11. How does your gut take it?
It's that working man's club. I think I'll go tomorrow first, then the Stanley, then I'll see you in the club, the Danny.
Yes,
sleep for the game. We're getting some sleep tonight. I might sleep for the game.
Daniela, how much are you from Wan-Bissaka important to this team? Good question. That they don't get mentioned much these days, do they?
Wan-Bissaka, I've got a little thing with him on that back post, but not so much now. We've got better defenders, because that back post was worrying me, because a lot of teams are sneaking around the back on his side and heading. But we've got Kyle Walker-Peters, who I think is a reasonable deputy. Wan-Bissaka's not been getting forward as much. Maybe he might tomorrow. But he's a good tackler, so he is important. And Doof, I don't even know if Doof is our first left back, even though he probably is getting picked ahead, because Scholes has been quite good there. Good. So, they're both important, but for different reasons. They're both important to the squad.
Yeah, agreed. Peter, again, if we did stay up, who of our better players do you think we could still lose? That is also a good question. Obviously, there's going to be all eyes on Somerville and all eyes on Fernandez. Everyone will think one of those two will go. I think you're right. I think if we stay up, we don't lose anyone.
Yeah, everyone will be on Fernandez, but I just don't see. I don't see the point in them leaving, because what are they leaving for? To play in Europe? What are they going to gain by playing in Europe for that season? Another move? I don't know. You know what?
Yeah. So better stay where you are.
I want to make it glory with the Mighty Hammers.
Yeah, well, and when we're in Europe next season ourselves, because we won the FA Cup, they won't need to go anywhere else.
Yeah, if we win the FA Cup, they ain't going nowhere, mate. Even if we go down.
Mate, I reckon we'll stay up and win the FA Cup. That's how stupid I am.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got a
James,
feeling about the FA Cup.
are you what?
I've got a feeling about the FA Cup.
I've got a feeling too. If we keep getting teams like we have done, then why not? You know, we'll end up playing Liverpool in the effing final. You know, we'll meet them at some point.
Liverpool. If we get Liverpool, we owe them one, so that's a win.
We owe them one, exactly. James, is Mavropanos a potential captain after his performance against Burton? I think he did all right.
I'm all for having a defender as a captain because they can see what's in front of them.
Yeah.
And I think the forwards should be left to doing the forward work. So I'm very much in agreement with having a defender as a captain. Yeah. But I didn't see how much talking Mav was, even as good as he was playing. I didn't recognise him talking so much.
And we were a lot closer to the ground, so you would have been able to hear him, but you weren't.
But we do want a defender that talks. I think Disasi might be a talker later on.
Yeah.
So if he stays with us, he might be.
He could be captain
sometime.
Mount Star, is Ward-Prowse still our vice captain? No, I think that's now gone to Souček, is my understanding.
Yeah, Souček.
Tracy, what do you think of Ezra Myers? Do you think he'll make himself a permanent fixture? Personally, I think his potential looks comfortable on the ball. Yeah, we just spoke about him. I agree with you.
It's going to be in the squad.
Totally.
It's going to be in the squad.
Absolutely. I agree. He's a player that got the potentials to come good.
But me personally, I won't play him as a centre-back.
Ironically, that's where he started. He started up front.
He's a centre-back at the moment, though, isn't he?
At the moment, yeah, but he started up front. He started as a striker. Then he worked his way back to midfield. And now he's playing. He looks like a solid... He won't be a marauding left-back, a modern-day left-back, but he'd be a solid left-back.
He's got a little bit of speed, can tackle, can run with the ball, can get forward. So, yeah.
Steak and kidney. Match predictions. I'll take a 1-0. Well, I might as well start that. What do you think tomorrow, mate?
I'll take a 1-0 steak and kidney. Yeah, I'll take a 1-0. Yeah, I'll take a 1-0, and then I'll take Liverpool beating Nottingham Forest 3-0, and us moving out of the relegation zone. That'll make my weekend fantastic.
And then thanking Liverpool next weekend and beating them 2-0.
Oh yeah, 2-1. I think.
All right, 2-1.
Yeah, they're going to
Talking Hammers. If you haven't heard of Talking Hammers, go to TikTok. Go to TikTok. Look up Talking Hammers. Very good. I don't know your actual name, mate. I just know you Talking Hammers, so you're gonna have to tell me what your name is. If you can bring a player back in his prime from West Ham's history into this team, who would it be?
Oh God, so many.
Good question.
So many. I'm not going to go for the obvious, which is Paqueta, or a lot of people say Di Canio. It is prime.
I know. Oh, in this day and age, actually, I know who. There's two players I've got straight away in mind.
Right.
Two players straight away in mind who will play on this sort of surface would be worth 40, 50, 60, 70 million pounds today.
Well, Trevor Brooklyn was quite good.
He's one.
And you're probably going to think Derbyshire. Yeah,
absolutely, 100%, 100%. Can you imagine Brooklyn and Devonshire playing in today's game on the kind of surfaces that we play on? They would be worth.
Not only that, they're going to get handed in 2 seconds as well. They wouldn't get them tackles coming in on them. They'll be gliding.
They'd be gliding, mate. If anyone goes near them, they'll be getting free kicks all over the gaff. Yeah. Look at the way Devonshire used to get hacked down and still go past players.
They'll be off. We'd be playing 10 men every week.
Exactly.
The tackles that them guys used to get against them. In fact, I'll go as far as saying in 1982 World Cup, because they didn't put Trevor Brooklyn and Kevin Keegan on, right, for their matches. That's why we got knocked out. 1982.
Yeah, they put them on because weren't they injured though? They were injured for most of that, weren't they?
Trevor Brooklyn.
They were injured. That's why they didn't come on till later. They came on the last game because they were both carrying knocks. I remember that.
Yeah. But I was thinking, why are they playing Brooklyn? It's like I thought there were players ahead of them. But yeah, them two players in this.
They would be those who I'd bring in. Talking hammers, definitely Devonshire on the wing. My God, if we think Somerville's good,
if you go back as well, there were tricky players before as well. They were good players. West Ham have had their share of really.
We've had our fair share. Yeah, you see, I know a lot of people will go, "I'll bring Billy Bonds back and players like," but they're the players that will get sent off every week.
Bill gets sent off. Because Bill would go in hard, even though he went in fair and hard. Then is not fair and hard now. Yeah, so Bill will get sent off. I quite used to like Pop Robson.
Pop Robson, yeah.
I used to like him. There's quite a few players gone by that West Ham have had. Going back,
we've had our fair share, haven't we? We've had our fair share. Okay, let's finish off with a few more comments. Josh, how's the home atmosphere been lately? Tomorrow will be my first game back in a long time. I'll be on my own, somewhat nervous. Don't be nervous, mate. But on the TV at last, it sounded good. If it's anything like the Man U game, it'll be fantastic. Sorry, go on, mate.
Don't be nervous. You can't. Nervous? Well, because you're on your own. Just you're West Ham. Go in the pub before. Exactly. Yeah, talk to people.
The pub. Let us know where. Yeah.
Where you go? Look out for us. Don't be nervous.
Who else have we got here? Question another one here. Troy, would you be happy winning the FA Cup and being relegated? By the way, this is Sushi. She just been sleeping up there. You're gonna have to wait, sweetheart, until we finish, and then I'll let you out. Would you be happy winning the FA Cup and being relegated, or would you prefer staying up and not winning? I hate a question like that. It's a fair question, but I hate it. Cup or league?
Staying up and not winning cup. Would you prefer staying up and not winning cup? Now, FA Cup.
Even if we go down?
Yeah, the Premiership is the Premiership. It's not, it's not the be-all and end-all of everybody's world. And definitely not mine.
But the Cup is something you'll never forget.
The FA Cup. Going to an FA Cup final. I've been to a few, mate. I'll tell you what. You do not forget an FA Cup. You do not forget going to it. You do not forget the celebration after. Do not forget the euphoria of going up. The Premiership is just a league. You with me? You'll be in a league next year.
Yeah.
And the league you're in next year might even be better for you because you might be winning more games, going to more different away games, getting more tickets to go away. I'll say that. Tuesdays.
Well, if we go down and win the FA Cup, that means we play, as Trodge just pointed out, something like 70 games next season.
Yeah. 70 games.
Europe and Championship.
Oh yeah, listen, the FA Cup, because we'll get Europe again, and Europe is fun, mate.
Europe is fun. Europe is fun.
Yeah. and the good thing about it, we can come straight to from Europe, straight to the Championship match. We can stay there for a couple of days and fly straight to the Championship match. Might be even cheaper. There you go. You've got to fly back to London. Fly straight to Rotherham.
Do you think the free for Somerville and Flanders will so high this summer due to the length of their? I didn't understand. Sorry, Daniela. You're going to have to retype that. I think what you're trying to say is, do you think the fee for Somerville
will be
Fernandez will be so high
this summer?
Yeah, I think even if we go down, I think we will get good money for both of them.
Yeah, I think
I know. Last time we went down, we ended up selling everyone for next to nothing. But I don't think we'll do that this time round.
I'll be very surprised. I think there's going to be a lot of takers for both of them. So if we do go down, there will be a lot of takers. So there will be not like an auction, but close to an auction.
Yeah, I agree. People are agreeing. Brooking, Gary Breen, very underrated. Gary Breen. I try to keep a straight face, and you made me laugh. Brooking simply played best we ever had. Devonshire and Trevor, two of the best I've seen in Claret and Blue, State and Kidney. Spuds to go down, us to win the FA Cup double is 188.
188.5.
I didn't understand that. 188.5. 188.5 to 1.
One.
Agami, you never know the results. It depends on how bent the FA referees are that day.
True.
Yeah.
We can agree on that. We got some really bad officiating in this Premiership, haven't we? Really. And if do you notice some, we don't get against some teams. There's some referees that hate us. Yeah,
well, feels that way. Yeah,
because we're bastards. We're the bastards in Claret and Blue. They just hate us.
Yeah,
they hate us. You with me?
Fox's Bond's only got 3 red cards in his career at that time. If he played now, it'd be 30 red cards, I think.
And there'd be a lot because he's 30. There'd be a lot of referees getting mud in their face as well. Oh, you'd have to find the mud, wouldn't he? You'd have to find the mud. Bonds was a great player. I think if you say players who can play this time, Dev and Brookie say that. But if you say our greatest players are Bonds and more.
Yeah. I wonder how they'd fare in this day and age. Bonds, more. I think the game would be too fast for more nowadays.
I think so, because if you think, what's that geezer's name who used to play for Des Walker? Yeah. He's very similar in holding the ball and playing balls and
yeah. He's gracious, wasn't he? He was a gracious player.
If you think about Moore was more about being in the right position. He didn't have to have that pace because he was always in the right place.
Positionally, good point again.
Very aware, wasn't he? So he made it right, but that don't mean he wasn't putting the effort in.
Last thoughts. The cat is doing my head in. You want to be let out? Come on, then I'll let you out. Yeah.
As Frog in the Well says, Stell's a domesticated one, not the cat.
There you go. The cat's gone. Cat's out of the bag. Predictions. Let's finish off with predictions, mate. And people give your predictions in the comments as well. What are you going for tomorrow?
I am going to say that unusually, especially against a team like that, we're going to keep a clean sheet.
Oh, fucking!
I know it sounds like madness, but I just feel it.
All right.
I feel it. I feel we're going to keep a clean sheet, and I feel we're going to score 2 goals.
So 2-0 to West Ham. So Andrew's saying 3-1, Darren 3-1, Steve 3-1, Andrew 3-0, Anush 3-1, Trodge 2-1, GP 3-2, Daniela, we just have to win, James 2-1, Mango 2-1, Malkster 5-2.
That was my other score.
I wish I had your
5-2 was my other score.
I wish I had your confidence to say that we're going to keep a clean sheet. I don't think we will. But I'm going to give us a
2-1.
And we're going to turn it on. 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
3-1. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure, as always. It's one of our mates' birthdays tomorrow, so I don't know where the hell he's planning to go for a drink.
Oh, you won't be in the club then?
Say again?
You won't be in the club?
I'm not sure. We might be.
I will reach there, but I'm going to, like I say, got to go to East Ham Working Man's Club, get there by 11 after breakfast. Then we got to get down, watch the match, then go down to Stanley, have a cup in the Stanley, then make our way down to probably the club. But I might go to Sportsman because they've got football in there, haven't they?
Oh, have they? Okay.
Yeah. I don't never go in there, but I might go in there and have a couple just to watch football. And then
I don't know. I'll message you tomorrow and tell you where we're going to be. But as usual, always a pleasure, always lively. Thank you, mate, for your time. Really appreciate it. People, if you've enjoyed the show, please do hit the like button. Please hit the hype button. Please become a subscriber to the channel. Costs nothing to subscribe. And if you want to become a member, we've raised £720 for Prostate Cancer UK through the membership so far. So thank you for that as well. Mate, all the best. Much appreciated. And I'll chat to you later.
Come on, you irons.
Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you all soon.